An autistic woman whose condition meant she sought risky sex was allowed to be pimped out to strangers by carers so she could learn from her mistakes, according to a report. The 23-year-old, who has learning difficulties, went through a 2-month trial approved by a court during which random men would visit her Manchester care home for sex during daylight hours. The scheme was ended after 2 months after a psychiatrist told a judge that continuing to expose the woman to high-risk situations could lead to sexual abuse, violence, injury or death. Documents about the case were released to Andrew Norfolk of the Times after a court order.Her family condemned the scheme, accusing care authorities of allowing an experiment that resulted in the pimping out of a highly vulnerable young woman. The woman, who cannot be identified for legal reasons, had been in care under the direction of the Court of Protection since she turned 18 in 2013. The court's role is to safeguard adults who do not have the mental capability to look after themselves. In 2015, a judge ruled the woman could consent to sex but was unable to make decisions on her contact with men. Carers feared she was at risk of sexual harm if she was allowed unsupervised access to males.With permission from the court. Manchester City Council employed an organization, Engage Support, to give her 24-hour support. A year ago, the woman began making a series of risky attempts to have sex with strangers. According to the Times, Engage Support threatened to terminate its contract unless the woman was given more freedom. Court documents say a psychologist employed by the firm believed it would be in her best interests to give her unsupervised contact with men. The council opposed the plan out of concerns it would expose her to sexual harm, but in June Judge Jonathan Butler gave the go-ahead. Engage Support were allowed to leave the woman alone at home to have sexual relations with others during daytime hours 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. If she asked for sex in public, the document said, carers would not be expected to physically intervene, but should remain present. Over the next few weeks she slept with 6 men. In August, Engage Support called a halt to the visits out of concerns about the woman's sexual behaviour and the welfare of its staff.